Hey everybody, welcome to Did You Hear About This? I'm Bill.
I am Scott.
We're doing an audio-only episode today.
Yeah.
Don't feel like doing the video thing right now.
Face for radio.
We have faces for radio apparently because, holy shit, nobody's watching us on YouTube.
Yeah, welcome to Did You Hear About This? Possibly the worst podcast on YouTube.
Oh, it's so sad.
People love shorts.
Our shorts are killing it. So many people have seen, like thousands of people have watched our shorts. That converted exactly 0 listeners to check out our YouTube actual podcast episodes.
It really makes me question, is it us, Bill? Is it us, or does it speak more to the lack of attention span that the public has?
Oh, I think it's us. It's got to be us.
Probably.
No, I really do think it's the latter. I mean, there's so much noise out there. Everybody's already embedded with the stuff that they love and the podcasts they listen to. It's hard to break into a new audience. It's just really, really hard.
Yeah, I'm open to either of those two possibilities, to be honest with you. Maybe we're not as good as what we think we are.
I mean, we have listeners that are more than just our friends, so somebody must like us.
I believe we've both been described as, if not diagnosed as, narcissistic. So maybe we're not as good as we think we are.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well.
Well, somebody's listening, and as long as there's some listeners, why not keep doing it?
Yeah, and those numbers, that's really a lesson in humility.
Yeah, I know. When it says 12 views on the YouTube video, it's like, oof. Oh, and then when you look deeper, and you're like, oh, that's 12 people that watched for a minute.
Yeah, and they're like, well, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Well, audio only.
We got AI video spam to watch. God, my feed is still so filled with AI video spam. I don't know if yours is.
Mine's mostly Andor episode breakdowns and cooking shows. Got the chili and chowder cook-off coming up next weekend.
Oh, that's right. Cool. You excited for that?
I am. I'm excited for a 4-day work week. I'm pulling one out of left field, man. I'm going to do a whole new, never tried, never tested chili recipe for this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. When do I get to sample it?
I don't know. I mean, the one I brought here for the Super Bowl was the one I was going to enter. But now I'm thinking pulled pork chili.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I thought so. We'll see.
You better decide fast. You got to bake this shit up, don't you?
Yeah.
How long does that take?
I mean, 14 hours for a pulled pork, but I can do that on Friday.
All right.
We'll leave Saturday morning, head down to the shore. I'll make the chili and the chowder down there. I'll put it together. So that will be good.
All right. Well, maybe I'll come with you. I got nothing going on next weekend.
Come on down, man. Harpoons on the Bay in
Cape May? Is that what you
Cape
said it
May,
was?
New Jersey. Yeah.
I like Cape May.
All proceeds go to Make-A-Wish. So pay $10, come in, eat as much chili and chowder as you want. I'm not trying to pack the ballot. You can vote for me. If there's something there better, please. I can, again, use the constructive criticism. Use the feedback. Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Could you imagine what a dick I'd be if I voted for somebody else?
You really missed the mark on this one.
Yeah, I'm going for the other guy. Oh, man, I'd be the worst friend. You voted for me, right?
Again, I'm looking more for authenticity and honesty. I don't need people to come and pack the ballot. But if you do, I don't mind the $150 cash prize for first place.
I'm going to walk around with signs. Vote for Scott. Vote for Scott.
Like a sandwich board.
Yeah, sandwich board. I'll have shirts on, T-shirts on.
Yeah, what you been up to?
I've been watching this new show. I got a new show.
Oh.
The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, I watched the first 2 seasons. I didn't watch the newest one.
We just got through the first season. It's great. What a great show. I had never heard of this show until all of a sudden some ad shows up. It's like final episode. And I was like, what is this show? And it's got Walter Goggins in it.
Walton Goggin.
It's not Walter?
No.
It's Walton?
Walton.
Walton Goggins
Yep.
is his name?
That's his name.
And I think he's on every show.
He's great.
I know he's in White Lotus, which I've never seen.
The last season of White Lotus, yeah. He was also in Vice Principals with Danny McBride. That was a HBO series as well.
And that's who's in this show, Danny McBride.
He wrote it.
Yeah, he's the
Creator.
Showrunner, I thought.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
John Goodman's good in this too.
John Goodman's great in it. Walton Goggins is great.
The girl that plays their sister, she is fucking so oddballish. The actress plays that part so well.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
I've never heard of her. Adam Levine, who we always say, Adam Devine.
Adam Devine, that's right.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was Levine. Like, I don't do that on purpose. I just can't keep them straight.
The names are just too close.
I know.
But they're just such a great cast. And it's a funny, well-written show. So it stays strong. The next season is good, too?
Season 2 is good, yeah.
And there's 4 seasons total.
I think 3.
Oh.
I think 3 was the last one that just wrapped up. I don't know. I only watched the first two. I just kind of, for a while there, I didn't have HBO, and now that I do, I've just been binging 3 hours of Andor every week. You caught up with that?
I think so. Who knows? I don't know. There's so much stuff dropping all the time that I'm losing track of where I'm at with everything.
I think we have 3 more episodes and it's done.
Really?
Yeah. It'll be 12 episodes.
All right. Damn, I watched a lot of Andor if I'm caught up.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What else to say about that?
Did you see Mon Mothma give a speech?
I can't remember. Dude, I watch these things stoned. I really don't remember. I have to watch those recaps and go, oh, yeah, that's right. All that happened.
Well, then I can't tell if you're caught up or not. If you can't, that was a pretty pivotal part of it.
A speech. I don't remember the speech. I guess I'm not caught up.
She addresses the Senate.
No.
Okay.
Then I don't think I'm caught up.
You may have 3 hours to watch yet.
Did they drop another 3?
Last Tuesday.
Was it just 1?
No, they drop 3 at a time.
Is that what they're always doing?
Every week, 3 episodes. So there's 9 episodes out now. It's been the past 3 weeks.
I was going to say, I think I've seen 6.
Well, you got 3 more hours to watch, buddy.
Oh, my God. I got to watch The Righteous Gemstones. I can't watch all this TV. God, no wonder everybody's so busy. There's so much damn TV.
It's true.
Hey, I got a letter.
Mailbag?
I got a mailbag.
Wow.
From Brother Mumbo.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, how about this? This came in the other day. It's a great letter. Let me read this to you. Fish, the band Fish. Are you a fan of Fish?
I am a fan of Fish's earlier works. From Farmhouse on, I could do without.
Yeah, a lot of that falls apart for me,
It got
too.
poppy.
It got poppy. The early album, Junta.
Junta is my favorite episode. It's one of my top 5 albums.
Trey Anastasia is one of my favorite guitar players, and he can play like a son of a bitch. And the way that they used to write, and then the way they write now, it's so different. I miss the old complicated, textured, compositions. Yeah, they're not like that anymore. I wish they were.
Trey Anastasio?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What'd I say?
Anastasia.
I always said that.
Okay, you're wrong.
He's one of my favorite guitar players, and I say his name wrong?
Yeah. It's like Alex Von Halen.
Yeah. Anyway, so Brother Bubba writes about Fish. Fish won the fan vote, but was not inducted in the 2025 class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Did you hear about this?
I know that nominations were made, but I didn't pay any attention as to who.
Yeah, so the people that made it in include Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Nicky Hopkins, who?
I don't know who that is.
Tom Bell, who? Carol Kay? Carol Kay, that rings a bell, but I don't. Cyndi Lauper, Salt and Pepper, Outkast, Soundgarden, Letty Waronker.
Probably like an old blues guy.
Yeah, I don't know. The White Stripes and Warren Zevon. So
Warren Zevon's fantastic. White Stripes and Warren Zevon and Cyndi Lauper. I gotta say, they're probably the class of the field for me.
Soundgarden?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was just Chris Cornell. I didn't realize the whole band made it.
Maybe this is bad information, but yeah, Soundgarden, Bad Company needs to be in there. And Chubby Checker, I get that too. But who are these other people? And then you go, well, how was Fish not in this thing?
It surprised me that the White Stripes are on there. Like for other halls, like in Canton, they have the NFL Hall of Fame, and in Cooperstown, New York, they have the MLB Hall of Fame. You have to be out of recording for so many years, or out of playing for so many years. I'm surprised the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't have like a time thing. I mean, Fish is still doing things. I don't know if they're putting out albums, but they're still playing shows. They're still doing local venues and tours and stuff like that. I'm surprised there's not like a time period. They almost seem too contemporary. The White Stripes seem too contemporary to be inducted into a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you think so?
I for me, it sits, not that either of those people don't belong there. Like Soundgarden's not going to, obviously. Chris Cornell is no longer with us. Bring them in. Nirvana, they were put in. Great. Like Foo Fighters shouldn't be in there. They're still touring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't understand this whole thing. I mean, every one of these people are completely different than the others. I thought about it. Maybe it's because Fish doesn't have any real hits, but I'm reading names here of people that I don't know any hits from. Fish has an audience, has a following that's bigger than anybody.
Are we talking commercial success? Or are we talking about, like, to your point, having a following?
Yeah, what does it take?
Is the Grateful Dead in the Hall of Fame? I would hope so.
Oh, God. Could you imagine they're not?
Yeah, but they were, Fish was the adopter of the Dead fans after the passing of Jerry Garcia.
More or less.
Well, some say with Phil Lesh and friends and things like that, but...
Well, he also writes, instead of being in the Hall of Fame, they appeared in a wacky Seinfeld-themed sketch.
I watched this on John Mulaney.
Yes, for Everybody Live, which is a live streaming talk show on Netflix hosted by comedian John Mulaney. I watched it too.
I want to like John Mulaney's show, but there's a reason why late night talk shows are not live. The timing of his show, the execution of his show, like it wants to work, but it doesn't. I want it to work, but it doesn't. But this Seinfeld sketch was pretty funny.
It was weird.
It was. Like, why?
Why?
It just seems so non sequitur, you know?
I hate to say this, but the fish guys looked awfully old.
Yeah,
I was like,
they
oof.
do. They do.
Talk about old man face now that you see it as people age. Like all 4 members walked out, and I was like, oof, who were they?
And the way the sketch works, John Mulaney goes to a fake window, like a prop studio window, and he looks through a telescope that's set up there, and like the telescope camera looks around, and it looks in like a neighboring apartment. And he was like, oh, that looks like the Seinfeld apartment. That's weird. And like, is that Trey from Fish? He looks like Jerry Seinfeld. And like each character comes in as like George Costanza, then Fishman comes in and dresses as Elaine, and or was Fishman Kramer? I forget.
Paige was Kramer.
Okay, then Fishman was Elaine.
Yeah.
And other episodes, but using this segment, like he would look around at different windows, and like every single window he looked in was somebody different, like getting ready to smash a lamp over the back of somebody's head, like just watching like murder after murder after murder. Like that was funnier than the Fish thing to me, but I was happy to see Fish doing something.
So this is a live talk show on Netflix.
Every Wednesday night, I think it goes live at 7 o'clock West Coast time. So 10 o'clock our time.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it was weird.
And he'll have guests come on. He has a weird like delivery robot that brings out snacks if people want snacks. And Richard Kind is his MC, like his announcer.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I don't know. One whole episode they had Richard Kind act as though he had amnesia and thought he was Gene Simmons. So he did like a Gene Simmons impersonation the entire show. And it was pretty funny. That was actually well done. But like, he'll take live callers, and like that's ballsy. Like you don't know what you're gonna get with a live caller.
Yeah, I'm actually intrigued to hear that.
It doesn't always go great.
Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis.
I haven't heard that. Yeah, you can imagine.
He writes here, I also wanted to point out that just like John Bon Jovi mentioned a couple shows ago, Trey Anastasio, how do I say it? Now you got me all...
You said Anastasia.
Anastasio. I know there's an O at the end. I don't know why I said it that way. Trey Anastasio is also from New Jersey, and he recently opened his own recovery center in Vermont, the Divided Sky Foundation.
Great song.
Great song, yeah. Fish has played benefit concerts with proceeds going to recovery and addiction services. And then he writes, Fish is much more than guitar solos and a drummer in a dress. I like that.
Yeah.
40 plus years into their career, they still continue to inspire me with their creative evolution and charitable nature. Their uniqueness has never strayed from who they are, which is a group of musically talented goofballs. Yeah,
it's true.
That's a great review of who they are.
When I was going down my rabbit hole of NPR Tiny Desk Radio, the Fish episode, the Fish concert was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, they're the best. They really are the best. They're, even though I can't pronounce his name, I've spent years trying to figure out his guitar style.
You can just see how talented they are as individual musicians and how well they just, the cohesion as a group is just great.
Yeah, what a cool band. I used to play in a band around here in Reading. There was another band that we played with. We got to know them a little bit. The guy, John, ended up leaving the Reading area and going to Lancaster and opening a guitar shop.
Okay.
And legend has it, he works on Trey's guitars.
Really?
I'm not completely sure it's true, but that must mean that he lives around here.
Do you think he's making modifications the way that Van Halen did with his to make a unique sound, or do you think it's just his playing style that's different?
He's always tinkering with new amp. Well, he was always tinkering with new amps and new sounds. He had that looper pedal going for a while.
Was he a big pedal guy?
But I don't know if he was getting electronics put into his guitar.
Okay.
Like Frank Zappa would do.
Yeah,
I don't know what John does for his guitars, but... Well, actually, Mumbo says he lives in Jersey, so that's not too far from Lancaster.
He was born in Jersey anyway. I always thought he was a Vermont guy. I'm surprised that he was a New Jersey guy.
Yeah, he might be walking around Lancaster, PA.
Could be.
Or what I heard about all this is bullshit. Who knows?
Could be.
Well, thank you for the email. That was cool.
Mumbo, thank you for the the mailbag, and thank you as well for the coffee, which is fueling me right now.
I see you drinking. I was going to ask you if that was...
HillRoadCoffeeRoasters.com.
Well, we got a couple things to talk about, some funny things in the news, some interesting things in the news, and of course, we tickled their ass with a feather last week.
Oh, our teaser.
Do you remember what it was?
Sperm racing.
Sperm racing. Were you able to look into it a little bit more?
Oh, I have a story.
All right. Why don't we jump right into that?
Right into that?
Yeah.
All right, well, as Bill said, as teased during the closing of last week's show, sperm racing. IFLScience.com reports U.S. students raced their sperm in a $1 million event on, quote, the world's smallest racetrack.
Now, I avoided reading the article because I want you to present it to me. I got so many questions about what this is.
Okay. It's douchey and it's stupid, but here we go.
Oh.
On Friday, April 25th, in where else but Weird L.A., competitors gathered at the L.A. Studios Center to watch musical performances, pre-match warm-ups, I don't know what that was, and sperm race through the world's smallest racetrack. How did this work? Samples, quote-unquote, were placed at the start of a microscopic racetrack, which was designed to mimic the reproductive system's chemical signals and fluid dynamics.
So what does this look like? What the hell are we talking about here?
The 2-millimeter long race was then presented via 3D animation on arena screens to, quote, the raucous crowd.
Wait, so we weren't even looking at the real sperms racing through microscopes?
No.
It was emulated through 3D animation.
3D animation. I don't know if it was AI. I don't know if I have no idea. That it's 3D animation. That's all it said.
So they took the sperm, they put it into some kind of tube. They, instead of magnifying, with a microscope and presenting that, they just reimagined the entire thing?
I guess there were people looking through the microscope, because it did say they were looking at it and observing it, tracking it, I believe is how they put it, through a microscope. But then how are you putting together 3D animation to put on these screens?
Right.
Is this like when you go to the baseball game and it's like, okay, section 1, clap real loud, and then like your character up on the Jumbotron goes faster than the other team? Like, what is this?
Yeah, this sounds silly.
It sounds really dumb.
Oh, what a disappointment.
And the raucous crowd just makes me think this is basically frat boys doing something stupid on their Friday. Cutting class and going to the studio center and acting like a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, what was the point of all this?
Glad you asked. It gets worse. Pre-match face-offs, similar to boxing or MMA weigh-ins, were held between competitors. So they would like get up in each other's face. They would announce like whose boys were racing next, and they would get like all up in each other's face. There'd be like hype guys there. They'd have like their crew with them, and a fight actually broke out during one of these pre-race face-offs.
Stop. Not a real fight, like a phony fight?
No, I think the one guy, actually I watched the video, you can see this online, the one guy pulls out like a little water gun and sprays the other guy in the face, to which the other guy just started like wailing on the guy with the water gun, and they started chasing each other, and there's some asshole that's doing play-by-play being like, I can't see! Get out of the way, I can't see, I want to see what's happening.
Whoa, now this is intriguing.
No, this is bad. Now, you like MMA. I think MMA is pretty douchey. You like MMA.
I also like Jerry Springer. That's what this has sounded like.
This is a mixture between the two. That's a perfect way to put it, for sure.
You think it was a real fight?
A fight actually broke out between two of the competitors. And again, all of this is happening with hype men announcers providing play-by-play.
Unbelievable.
The event was started by, you want to take a guess who it started by?
Would I know the name of the person who started
No, not
it?
the name. Just who do you think would start something this fucking stupid?
Steve-O.
A 17-year-old high school student,
Oh.
Eric Zhu, who raised over $1 million to put it on. So he found investors raising over $1 million to put this thing together.
A 17-year-old kid came up with this brilliant idea.
Brilliant idea? Are you listening to this story?
I'm being a little sarcastic.
Okay. I'm just checking in. Are you stoned right now?
Not right now.
Okay. One organizer explained, male infertility is one of the biggest crises in the world, and we are here today to help stop that problem in an entertaining way. He goes on, sperm racing is a serious company. Sperm racing isn't just a joke. It's not just some viral idea for the internet to laugh at. Oops.
Yeah.
I think it is. I really think it is. The winner was 20-year-old Tristan Milker, if you can believe.
Hey, that's great.
Who won a $10,000 cash prize. So they raised $100 million, or I'm sorry, they raised $1 million. This guy is getting $10,000. Where's the rest of it going?
That's a great question.
It better be going to male infertility if that's what they're promoting.
Going right into the pockets of the 17-year-old kid.
Well, 19-year-old Ashton Proger came in second place and was, quote, sprayed with a substance resembling, well, you could probably guess.
All right.
End quote.
This is so ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It sounds like it was huge. I mean, big money.
I guess.
Big audience, I take it. I assume there was a big audience in there.
Also, before the races, they would like interview the participants about their health history, if they used substances, if they drank, if they like what was their medical history. Can you imagine if they were like placing bets on DraftKings or something like that for who has the fastest sperm?
They might do that next time.
Maybe.
If this thing blows up,
That could be what they're working towards.
I could totally see that. Could totally see prop bets like related to sperm, all sorts of shit.
The Super Bowl of sperm.
Unreal. Now that I know about it, I'm going to go check it out. I want to watch this thing. This is right up my alley. So stupid.
I did watch the videos. And again, iflscience.com is where I got the story. And there are videos embedded in the story. It is very much a monster truck rally, MMA, professional boxing weigh-in with just like the posturing and the hyping, and it's just so douchey. I can't get into that scene.
No.
Yeah,
right up my alley. Like I said, so dumb. I can't wait to see it now. Yeah. I'm just disappointed that I don't even understand how they actually did the race. That sounds phony.
It does sound dumb that it was 3D animation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll have to investigate this.
Get back to us.
All right. This will be. I'll have to put gemstones aside and watch sperm racing.
You have a whole new rabbit hole and a whole new list of priorities, my friend.
All right. Well, that was fun. Anything else to say about it?
No. That's all I have. Not up my alley, but people bet on everything, so I can see this going to DraftKings and MGM Sportsbook and all that bullshit.
Yeah, me too. Wonder what the Vegas odds are on Joey's sperm.
People were betting on who the new pope was going to be.
On what?
Who they were going to pick for the new pope.
I mean, like on what service? Is that?
I don't know. I don't know what people use for these things. You saw we have a new pope now, right?
Yeah, I did.
American guy from Chicago, but he also studied at Villanova, so he's a little bit of a Philly guy too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did some schooling in Philadelphia.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How does that work? You think? Does he know he's in the running?
Well, I think to do the conclave, all the are they bishop? All the cardinals, not bishops. Bishops are there too, but they kind of like oversee the whole thing. All the cardinals are locked in. Conclave in Latin, the word comes from locked with a key. They're actually locked in the Sistine Chapel and not let out until they come up with a decision. So all the cardinals amongst them decide which of them are going to be the next pope.
Which of them? Okay,
which of them?
I don't know how any of this works.
So, this is like Pirates of the Caribbean 3, where they have to pick the king of the pirates.
Okay. So all the potential popes are locked into a room together. They can't get out until one is picked.
Right.
Oh, it sounds like jury duty.
Kind of.
All right, so they all finally say, "We've had it. You get the job."
Yeah, and I was actually watching some stories about past conclaves, like going back centuries. I don't know how long there's been popes. I'm not Catholic. It's not really my world. But there was a conclave that went on for 2 years.
No way.
40 months, actually. It was more than 3 years. And what they ended up doing was they stopped feeding them and they started giving them like just bread and water. Like, okay, guys, come up with a decision. And the one guy was like, oh, well, we can't possibly make a decision because the roof on this building is stopping the Holy Spirit from coming down and allowing us to make the decision and come to who is the next pope going to be. So he was hoping to get let out of this locked door. What they actually ended up doing was they tore the roof off the top of the building they were in. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So now they're exposed to like all the elements, and they're being fed bread and water, and they came up with the decision in the next day.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. This was one of the shortest conclaves. It only took less than 48 hours.
Yeah, it happened fast. Yeah, I read the news. The smoke was black. I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
The smoke was only black once.
Just one day.
And the next time it was white.
Yeah.
So 2 votes.
All right. I don't even know the name. I was going to say congratulations, Pope, and I just said
Pope Leo the
Leo,
10th,
right?
Maybe? Is it X? Pope Leo X? I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't even know that they changed their name. I thought that was their name. I thought Pope Francis was Pope Francis, or Francis something else.
Pope Leo X. That's like a Fast and Furious movie.
It's the sequel to Malcolm X.
What else do I have here? Unless you want to keep on talking about the Pope.
The Pope and sperm? That was a weird segue.
That is those two things don't usually go well together, but on our show it does.
Somehow it works.
Here's a cool story. You sent this to me since we're talking about science. We have finally entered the future.
What did I send you?
You sent me a video about a flying speeder bike.
Oh, yes.
So a Polish firm has turned science fiction into reality as its Star Wars-styled air bike is taken to the skies. A company called Volonaut. Volonaut's flying motorbike, a futuristic single-occupant vehicle, is a breakthrough in personal air mobility. You know, that's a word now, personal air mobility.
Yeah, this was pretty wild.
I mean, this video that you sent me of this bike flying, it's a speeder bike from Star Wars.
It goes 124 miles an hour.
It's fast. It was a little bit higher than a speeder bike would be.
I have a problem that they called it the speeder bike. I don't think it resembles the speeder bike.
Well, they called it an air bike.
Well, when most people think of the speeder bike, they're thinking of the speeder bikes on Endor that Luke and Leia raced with the Ewoks through the forest of Endor.
Right.
I feel that it resembles more the personal hover bike that Darth Maul rode in The Phantom Menace, where he kind of buzzed over top of Anakin Skywalker.
Like
the kid.
That's
I think it's more like that.
With the use of advanced carbon fiber materials, 3D printing, and a minimalistic approach, the air bike is 7 times lighter than a typical motorcycle.
Well, yeah, they're not going to have like steel exhaust pipes and like giant ape hanging handlebars. It's not going to fly.
Not yet. Maybe one day, as people start to customize their air bikes.
Tassels off the side.
Oh, that would look so cool. I would love it. It says here it can go up to 124 miles per hour, can carry one person. Volonaut claims that the air bike's proprietary stabilization system, enhanced by a flight computer, provides automatic hover and ease of control for its rider. I mean, this guy on the video was just flying through the desert. He was flying over water.
Just went where he wanted.
Oh, it's the coolest thing.
Better than a hoverboard. It went over top of water.
Now that we have this technology, it's going to take another... It's always this way. It's going to take like 10 years until that's finally mainstream.
I was going to say 15.
You think 15?
Probably.
But what will that be like, man? You'll see these things on the road. Will people be flying over each other? Over the road, yeah. I always think about that. Like when we get to this age of flying cars and flying motorcycles, which is essentially what this is, how are they going to control that? People are just going to go every fucking where and bang into each other in the skies.
It's very interesting that you bring this up because when I was watching the last few episodes of Andor, and no spoilers here, they showed it in the prequel movies as well. Like Coruscant, it's the biggest city. It's the capital city of the galaxy. Right? Mm-hmm. It's where all the senators come to meet. They have these sky lanes. I'm like, well, these people can fly anywhere. Why are they flying in a straight line? They're like always in traffic. Like, why don't you just fly outside of the sky lanes? I always thought that was stupid. How do they control that? Who's policing that?
I guess in the Star Wars universe, people follow the rules, but in this country, nobody's going to follow those rules.
Not in this economy.
Oh my God. It is just awesome that this is out there now.
I know. And
it looked so easy to ride.
Or is this just the next drone where everybody has them for a hot minute and then they don't?
I hope not. This is.
It seems cool.
I want to be around for this. I don't want to be too old that I can't get my own air bike. Sir, your vision is poor. Your reflexes are bad. You can't have an air bike. No, I waited my whole life for an air bike. It says the air bike offers a unique riding position with an unobstructed 360-degree view to help the rider quickly become one with the flying apparatus. Thank you. Yes. One with the flying machine.
Yes.
And provides the sensation of complete freedom. I mean, it just look. I'm a Harley rider. I love being out on the road. I love that sense of freedom. I love turning and feeling the wind just kind of whip you around a turn. But this is a whole different sensation. I know it. Just watch. You can't see the guy's face, but I see him smiling through the helmet as he's flying around on this air bike. I gotta have one. I gotta.
There's going to be helmet laws for this, right? Like, rules have to be put in place that there's going to be death everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be plenty of death. Early adopters are going to take some falls for sure.
Right before this goes mainstream, I'm going to start investing in caskets.
That's a good idea.
And urns.
That's a great idea. Oh, my God. Well, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I sent it over and I was like, were we just talking about not having hoverboards, but now we have speeder bikes? That's wild.
Yeah, we don't have hoverboards, but we have speeder bikes.
I know.
You'd think the hoverboard would come first.
There were bicycles before there were motorcycles, you know?
Don't they have some kind of hoverboard? I kind of remember seeing something a couple years ago.
No, they had those little wheelie things they were calling hoverboards. Those things that were catching fire at airports.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The batteries would overheat because it was lithium ion, like phone battery, I think.
Yeah.
Not meant to propel humans.
Have you seen those suitcases that people sit on now and ride around on?
Yeah.
I think I want one of them too.
They have coolers too that you can like go to a tailgate and fill it up with beer and just wheel around on a cooler. I saw one down at the beach before.
Oh my God, how fast did they go?
When you're walking and they're zooming next to you, it seems pretty goddamn fast.
I don't know if I could be the asshole at the airport sitting on this luggage, scooting past people. Excuse me, pardon me, on your left. Zoom.
Meep, meep.
Yeah, a little horn or a little bell, like an old
Ling, ling,
girl's bike bell.
ling, ling.
On your left. Zoom. So stupid. But an air bike, I'm all for it.
All right.
You want to go into some other news stories?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Grand Theft Auto?
I never really got into it as much as I did other video games.
Grand Theft Auto 6 just dropped a new trailer. Smashes past 475 million views in first day. People are way into this Grand Theft Auto. And I watched this trailer. I even showed it to Amy. She's like, I don't give a shit about video games. But I showed it to her. I was like, watch this thing. This whole thing is a video game. It looks real, man. It's crazy cool.
GTA 5 has been out forever, though, right? Like, this has been a starved franchise for a sequel for quite some time.
I think people are still actively playing GTA 5.
They are, but they're ready for something new.
Well, it just got pushed back. So everybody thought it was coming out this year, and it just got pushed back to summer of next year. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer because I'm going to get it. Like, I may even buy a new computer or a new PlayStation to play.
I was going to say, it's probably going to require a new system.
It says it runs on the PlayStation 5. Some of the footage in this trailer, I think they said, was the PlayStation 5. And that looked great. I don't even know how they're pulling that off. My PlayStation 5 would catch fire, I think, if it tried to run this game. So even my computer, and I've been talking to you about how I've been getting into computer games. My computer's not the most up-to-date system. I'm probably a couple video cards, past. But like for this, like I want to go buy something new. So I want state of the art. I want to play this game with the best technology I can. I love Grand Theft Auto 5. I was probably super addicted to that for two and a half years.
GTA 3 was San Andreas?
I can't remember all that. Vice City was one of them.
I remember shooting helicopters with a rocket launcher while standing on a billboard with you one time.
That may have been GTA 5. Think about how long that's been around. It may have been
Vice City, though. I think we left the city to go out to the desert to do this.
You got a good memory for shit like that.
Yeah.
We just shooting shit with rockets?
I just remember thinking, like, what's the point of this? Is this a side mission? Like, what are we doing?
You do whatever you want.
That's the thing I can't... That's why I never got into it.
Well, there is a story mode. You can play the story mode, or you can go in the multiplayer mode and just have fun. Just do whatever you want. And with this new game coming out, I can only imagine the whatever you wantness being, increased 10x. Who knows?
I mean, you know what kind of gamer I am. I go for achievements. I go for goals. I go for progression through a story or through whatever. Not that it needs to be a linear progression, but I need to have some sort of objective. And if there's not, I'm like, we're just jerking off here.
I like chaos, so it works for me. I remember just playing a game. I'm just driving around in the desert part of their California, and there's this naked guy just walking around. Just like, what's this? I've never seen him there before. I've never seen him again. Just found a naked guy.
Now, I'm the kind of gamer where they have an achievement where it's, play the game again, but only use your basic weapon. Okay, I'll play it again for another 5 hours and use the basic weapon to get 25 gamer points that mean nothing.
Yeah, I know you're into that. Like when I was playing the Lego games with my son, he was a completionist, right? So he had to collect all the little Lego
every
things.
Character, every minifig.
And I remember you saying that with Batman, you were addicted to it too. I skip all of that. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't even try to look for it.
Yeah.
That Spider-Man game I was playing, it's got all these little side quests. Go catch all the little, who cares? I just want to play through the mission. But if you give me an open world, like that new Star Wars game that came out that was open world, in my mind, it's Star Wars meets Grand Theft Auto. I don't think it really came out to be as open world as Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
But if everything could be that open world, that's killer. That's great. You could just walk up to any character and have a conversation with that character, ideally.
This is why I never got into Minecraft. I just don't understand the purpose.
Yeah, it's a great question. What's the purpose of all this? I don't know. If you play the mission, there's a purpose.
I guess it's all entertainment, but again, I need some sort of objective.
I need mindless entertainment.
I need to feel like I'm accomplishing something, even though deep down I know I'm not.
I need to shoot rockets in the desert.
Helicopters. Oh, man.
This thing's coming out next year, and I think it's just going to be probably the biggest game for another 5 or 7 years. And
it's going to definitely move new video game units, that's for sure.
The only
system units, I should say.
I got to say, maybe I am getting a little bit more prude as I get older. There's a lot of kids that were playing that Grand Theft Auto 5 that I would go, oh, there's some really filthy, dirty stuff in it. Like,
yeah.
I'd wince a little bit when I heard about, or if I'm playing online, I hear this little kid squeaking playing this game, and I'm like, oh my God, did he do the porno challenge? Did he do did he kill a hooker? Like, is he doing all the stuff I'm doing? Because some of that's pretty X-rated.
Yeah, for sure.
But everybody was playing it.
I know. So I sent you a story earlier this week. You also sent me a story. You remember what it was?
I sent you a story?
You sent me a story.
No.
We talk about some absurd shit on this show, clearly. Pope and sperm and this, GTA. Last episode, we were joking around about advertising budgets for movies. And I think you joked that you never heard of Final Destination. And the formula was always, if a movie spent X amount on production, double it for advertising. And I said, it can't be true for all movies because, I've heard about all these Marvel things. I've heard about Thunderbolts, a.k.a. the next Avengers. But you hadn't heard about the new Final Destination movie that's coming out. We joked that they probably spent $600 on the movie and $1,200 on advertising, or $300 and $600, whatever we said. And I think we joked that they put it on the side of a Greyhound bus when we're driving around town.
Yep.
No, instead they put it on the back of a truck, and it looks like the back of a logging truck.
Yeah.
Because of the Final Destination. So when you're driving behind these trucks, it's like, oh, Final Destination coming towards you. And it's like the logs are going to fall off and kill you.
Yeah.
So that was our Nostradamus moment. We called it.
Well, that was sent to me by my friend Jen. And I was just looking at this. I was like, oh, my God, we just talked about this. That truck just must be driving around L.A. or something like that, like advertising the movie. And I'm like, we called it.
We did.
It was incredible. But yeah, the caption underneath was "Nope." Like nobody wants to get behind that truck.
Nobody wants to see that
because that's There's 2 scenes from those Final Destination movies that I don't really remember those movies.
Can I guess? The logging truck,
obviously the logging truck,
and the sheet of glass.
No, the plane blowing up as it took off.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. I try not to think about that scene when I'm at the airport. But yeah, it looked like a logging truck, and it had a big Final Destination part, whatever, 900, whatever we're up to, written on it, and it would just drive around advertising the movie.
So we called it.
Yeah. I was just laughing my ass off when Jen sent this over.
You're like, didn't we just talk about this? I was like, holy shit, we did.
We willed this into existence. What do the kids call it? They call it manifesting. We manifested it, Scott.
Remember that time we won the lottery?
I know.
That was great.
That's a good idea.
Let's make that happen.
There's a ring at the doorbell.
Ed McMahon.
It's Ed McMahon. We just won. Life's so easy. Life's so easy for us. Well, here's another story I thought was interesting. Megalopolis, no streaming in Blu-ray, says Francis Ford Coppola. So this terrible movie that everyone hates, that he spent all his money on.
Yeah.
Probably not all his money.
He leveraged a lot of his vineyards.
We now can't see it. We can't see it.
Nobody wanted to see it.
I want to see it.
You do.
I really actually want to see it. It sounds so off the wall and ridiculous, and I want to see what he spent all his money on. But he's saying this movie was made to be watched on a movie screen. And since nobody wants to see it on a movie screen, I'm not going to put it out on Blu-ray. I'm not going to put it out on streaming. Nobody could see it.
What a visionary.
What do you think of it? I mean, it's crazy to me. Dude, try to make as much money back as you can. At least put it on streaming. Some people have some,
I have a
curiosity.
Prediction. I have a prediction. You can't watch it right now, but he's trying to get this mythos, people talking about it. He's trying to control the supply and demand of it so that people be like, when you finally can watch it, maybe somebody will care. You'll care. I think that's what this is. This is a marketing thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just thought it was a stubborn guy who's like, this thing is only meant for To me, I'm at the point now where I get a good theater experience. It's great. You go and watch the Thunderbolts or whatever, and you feel the entire room shake. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Except
it's
there's also people.
Yeah. And there's no ushers, remember?
Yes.
Shushing anybody. But it's also awesome watching a movie at home.
Oh, it is.
It's so great watching a movie at home.
Sure.
Why can't I enjoy this movie at home? Why do I need a theater?
The ratio you have between your giant-ass TV and your leather sofa right here, it'd be the same ratio as what you'd have if you were sitting at the theater. Your sound system rocks in here.
Yeah, I've got a good sound system. I can emulate a theater to some degree.
My subwoofer vibrates the sofa. I could do this.
It tickles your ass.
It tickles my ass a little bit.
Yeah. I hated hearing that. He's like, well, now you're not, okay, but you think it's a marketing stunt.
I do.
Yeah, that could be. That's how Hollywood works.
Yeah.
Try to create a little bit of demand and then put it back out in theaters like they're doing with everything now.
He just got this Lifetime Achievement Award thing that was presented to him by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, and there was this whole thing out in Hollywood where they gave him this award. So, he wants to be, I'm an artiste, and it was meant to be viewed this way, and yada, yada, yada. It'll be out. Don't worry.
Do you think he's really broke?
I don't think he's broke.
I know he put a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
But I heard a lot of people say that it was money that, he had to sell, portions of his wine
Like I said,
business.
he leveraged a lot of, acreage on his winery.
Yeah, but he can't be broke.
No. He's still making wine.
Like Kevin Costner, is he broke after that thing?
Because you figure these people, okay, so they get famous for backing their own movies and investing in their own movies, but these guys are also producers. They were investing in other movies all along, too.
Yeah, that's
Do you
true.
think they invested more than what they could afford to invest? Probably not.
I'm sure not. But
They're living off of dividends.
I like the idea of somebody putting all their chips in one, what's that phrase? Chips in your not chips in a basket.
Putting all the eggs in one basket.
Yeah, chips on
going all in, pushing all your chips into the middle of the table.
Yeah. I'm trying to mix it up, dopey phrases. But I like the idea of being I'm
but you act like a tree. Get
out of here.
Butthead.
I totally biffed.
Yeah, you biffed that one for sure. But here's the thing. If anybody in Hollywood was actually that ballsy to do that, I think we'd have better movies.
You think?
Yeah, I really do.
Why?
Because nobody would be that ballsy on a piece of shit movie like, what's this called? Megalopolis.
Well, that's an example right there of somebody being crazy and ballsy and not being a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Same with that.
No, but I'm saying he didn't put all of his money into it. If he was really going to go for broke and put it all in, you'd make sure you got a better product than what you're putting out here.
I just sometimes wonder if these guys are delusional. They've had their ass kissed their entire life.
Do you think they're Bill and Scott and think they're the greatest thing, and then nobody fucking listens? Nobody watches?
Damn it! They just had a moment like us.
They just did. You hear about it?
They just YouTubed. Francis Ford Coppola just YouTubed. Oh, it doesn't feel good, does it, Francis? Put all this time and effort into something and just...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's life. That's the way it goes. Talking about things coming and going, here's our last story. This was sent by Sister Michelle. She's a big Kevin Smith fan. I know.
I like Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I'm a little over Kevin Smith. But Kevin Smith's 1999 fantasy comedy Dogma, what'd you think of that movie?
I didn't like it the first time I saw it, and then I watched it again, and I did enjoy it. I liked Buddy Christ and George Carlin, and Affleck and Damon were in there, and then you had
Alanis Morissette was in it.
Hans Gruber was in there. Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman. That's
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dogma starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon and all those people you just said as two fallen angels plotting their return to heaven is getting a theatrical release on June 5th to honor its 25th anniversary. So it's more movies that are coming back to the theater. But
well, this was tied up for a long time because it was owned by Harvey Weinstein and Miramax.
Right.
And he just got the rights back to it.
That's exactly what I was going to read next.
Okay.
Iconic Events is distributing the re-release after acquiring the rights to the film from Miramax. Dogma has never been available on streaming, and the scarcity of physical copies made the film somewhat of a cult classic. This is Megalopolis.
It was supply and demand for a long time. This is exactly what Francis Ford Coppola is trying to artificially create.
So you might have a point there.
I'm no dummy.
I can't recall the movie that well. I didn't know it wasn't on streaming. I didn't know it was something.
Yeah.
So it kind of became a cult classic. I didn't even know that.
Yep, because Weinstein held the rights and was not willing to play ball.
I remember a shit monster. That's about all I remember.
There was a shit monster,
Wasn't Chris Rock in it?
Chris Rock was in it, yes. He played a prophet.
Salma Hayek was in it, I think.
I believe you're right, yes.
Then I started to mix them all up. I was going to say, wasn't Carrie Fisher in it? Oh, no.
That was definitely Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
So now that's...
Jason Lee was in it. I think he played one of the devil's henchmen.
Jason Lee, what happened to him?
Don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, I don't see myself going to the theater to see Dogma.
Is this a nationwide theatrical release? It's just going to Smog Castle Cinemas, which is Kevin Smith's theater in New Jersey.
I think it's a wide release, but I don't know how wide of a release it is. Yeah,
hey, it worked for Revenge of the Sith.
And there's another movie I'm blanking on it, but this is a new thing, bringing these old movies back to theaters.
Well, the new ones are no good.
I guess not.
Let's go back to the well.
Although that Thunderbolts did well.
You see, they changed the name.
Yeah, I guess that was a big...
that was the big reveal that they dropped the bomb a week after its release.
So is it a spoiler at this point?
No.
Yeah, because it's all out there on the
Everything's
internet.
out there.
So it's called the New Avengers now? It's not even called Thunderbolts? If I go to the theater right now, will it be Thunderbolts or New Avengers?
The story I saw that announced the name change showed Sebastian Stan hanging up posters at a theater that said New Avengers and basically taking down the old Thunderbolts asterisk.
Okay. Yeah. Saw that one coming a mile away.
Yeah. People were calling this forever.
I thought it was going to be Dark Avengers.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a little off.
New Avengers.
All right. Well, that's all I really got for news stories.
That's all I got, too. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening. Another episode of Too Much CGI, asterisk, Did You Hear About This?
Nice.
Whether you're watching us on YouTube, which we know you're not, or listening while driving, thanks for tuning in. Tell a friend. Maybe we can get these numbers up a little bit, and we'll talk to you next week.